KISSA in-store radio. Broadcast for the curious.
Good evening. Welcome to the three people who are sitting here, and if somebody's tuned in, we are the KISSA in-store radio, broadcasting live and direct from the Veg Non-Veg Gurgaon store. Today, my name is Anandit. Today we have a special selection of artists who are going to be exhibiting their art, all tied under the umbrella of the International Synthesizer Day, which happens to be today. But the point or the idea of today's curation is to shed some light on the different synthesizer communities which are sort of rising out of out of India, specifically in Delhi, because we are showcasing the scene out of Delhi today. We have three performances. We have Angia from Angia Devices. We also have Imerohi, aka Shaurya, who runs the Alt Bethak initiative. And we have Shiv Ahuja, who's present here with us right now, who performs as Songs for a Tired City, and also is one of the founding members of the Synth community based out of Delhi. So welcome, Shiv. We are going to start with pestering you with some questions. Shiv, why don't you introduce yourself very quickly and what Songs for a Tired City is about?
Yeah, so I'm Shiv. I've been playing music for like over a decade, maybe like 15, 18 years. I used to play in bands a lot, got into synthesizers that way, and over time I just sort of started honing in on synthesizers. And now for the past year and a half or so, I've been playing this kind of Buchla synthesizer, and it's kind of in the history of synthesizers, it's one of those things that kind of comes up, and it's a real kind of honor to be able to play it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. Songs for a Tired City, I started it with my friend Jayant, and Jayant and I were always talking about doing some things in Delhi, but like doing it kind of quickly. We were getting a bit tired of the long kind of gestation period when you're working with bands, and ek saal ke liye album, you work on it, and it's too long. So we wanted to do things a bit quicker. So we used to sit and jam, and we're very good at like Max MSP and kind of coding and doing those kinds of things. And I was playing analog synthesizers. So we came up with that, and the idea was to like do some field recordings to try to see if we can find some historical records of Delhi. Nice. And the idea was kind of like we were thinking of it as kind of soundtracks to rides in the Delhi metro. When we were traveling, it would just kind of change. I used to make these recordings, and when we would listen to it in the metro, it would kind of change how we felt about the environment around us. So that was the idea, and then I started looking more into ambient music, and ambient music was kind of all about how the sound kind of transforms the space. So that's what we were kind of exploring. And then Jayant moved away. We did some collaborations online. And since then, I've been playing solo. I'm still getting used to that.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Awesome. And that also brings me to the, I think the aesthetic quality of your music. I absolutely love the third album of yours, which I'm forgetting the name of, sorry. And there's this track on that album called Dopeher, which has this flute playing, and it's absolutely beautiful, because for me it is when I listen to that track, I am just imagining a hot dusty afternoon in Delhi. And it just sort of, it's so visceral for me listening to that track, and in fact that album also, which brings me to your latest album, which you have released with Digging in India, where I think you are doing, I'm guessing you are doing the more synth heavy stuff, and Nishant is doing the more sample based bits. So do you want to talk about how that album came to be?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about both. So the previous one was In Plain Sight, and that was released on Subcontinental Records from Bangalore. They do a lot of like kind of music, non-mainstream music, a lot of metal and things like that. And we did some like tapes basically, and with that the idea was just it was the first album that Jayant and I did kind of collaboratively from a distance. So there was a new process to get used to. But with the flute, it was Rohit Prasanna, who I'd known for many years. You know, he's like an incredible flute player. So I was not very sure whether he'd be interested in this kind of thing because it's different from the kind of music he usually played. But I just sent him a recording saying, hey, I think, you know, this would be really nice if you played on it. And he sent me, like, the first thing that he sent me was like, I was like, no way, man, that sounds incredible. And since then, actually, I haven't been able to, you know, you know, for me, it was like the sound of, like, when I used to come back home, my grandparents used to live with me here in Gurgaon when I was going to university. And I used to come back home and they used to always have, like, some kind of music playing in the background. You go ghazals or it was some classical music. So I always had this idea of, like, always having something a little bit distant playing, something a bit classical, maybe not for this time, but still feels very settled in our geography somehow. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But so that was the idea. I'm still trying to explore it, and actually I was going to play that sample today too.
Oh, awesome.
I'm in the recording, so you'll hear it.
Nice, awesome. Shiv, last question for you. Can you take us a little bit about what Synthang is and what the entire structure of Synthang is? Because it's not just you, it's a lot of people, and I think it's a disservice to say that Synthang is just one person. So especially being a part of it, I think there are so many different tangents which come together to make Synthang. So just in your words, if you can talk about what Synthang means.
Yeah, sorry, I realized I didn't talk about the Digging in India album, but okay, but you can check that out on it's via Purplish Records, and it's a batch of 2 tapes, and we've done, Nishant and I did 1 tape, and it actually came out of a recording we did with Ono Collective. Nishant and I did a gig, and Ono Collective is also amazing, incredible roster of artists, and they do tapes and they do like concerts and things. It's very interesting. And actually, I have to say that Ono Collective was on my mind when we started thinking about Synthang too. It's like with Synthang, I was into this stuff, and you know, there weren't too many people into it. And at some point in Instagram, I saw Rish, Surbhi, I saw Weber, a few other people in the city doing it. So I asked them to come over for a drink, and you know, maybe we bring our instruments and jam a little bit. And it felt amazing. And since that day, we just decided to do it like every month. And the idea is that whoever hosts the hang will bring some kind of will decide how things will play out. So sometimes we do like a little showcase, some works in progress, or sometimes people will say, hey, I'm working on this project, but I need a little help. So this is where I'm at, to get some feedback from the room. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a small little set that somebody's playing.
And it's also like some people who are just sharing the current projects that they were, like the other day Padma did that presentation about the project that he's working on for Academy Slows. But that's amazing. That's so the hanging part of it is very crucial to the synth hang.
And the community is amazing actually. Yeah. It gives me so much energy. It's like in a place where there's not that many venues to play, things are a bit difficult. You're playing music that's like pretty niche, and it's there's not that many takers even globally. So it's amazing to have that community of people who are not just, it's not just musicians, right? There's like some visual artists, there's I'm a photographer, also filmmaker. Then there are people who are like Angie, I'll play later, he's a synth maker. So we are trying to expand that as much as possible. We're trying to do some like public events also. We've done like 3 or 4 concerts, but even at these concerts we try to have like something a bit different, so it's not just like a regular concert. You can maybe come and play some instruments that you might normally not have access to in the city, or you can meet other people from the community and try to find a way for yourself, and that's the idea basically.
Absolutely. I still have some time, so I'll ask one more question. Earlier you mentioned that you have a background in photography. I think you are still pursuing that as a vocation. So I'm just curious if this fascination of analog devices comes from your vocation as a photographer, or is it like, do you see any connection between the two, or is it something that you still want to think about?
No, I think there's definitely a connection. I don't know what it is yet, but I've always done both, and I've always like got fed up of one scene and focused on the other, then got fed up of that scene and moved back to this scene. And I've always kind of done that. It gives me a little outlet, when I'm tired of one particular thing. But in the process itself, I've started looking at what I'm doing with the Buchla now more like in photographic terms, right? Where the concert's like kind of like a snapshot of the moment. It's like nothing is really planned, and it depends on how the synthesizer goes and what input it gives me and how I go on from it. And so in that way, it's kind of like a snapshot, I would say, not like a pre-recorded set, or it's not. So And then there are obviously connections in terms of aesthetics and, you know, between grain and noise and certain kinds of aesthetics that I'm interested in photography. And I think those are also, I've discovered the same kind of aesthetics that are that are showing up in my music. Yeah, so I don't know.
That's really well put, actually, and I'm glad I asked that question. But yeah, for the next half an hour, we have Songs for a Tired City, Shiva Huja. Take it away.
Cheers.
रही है झील कोई दफ्तर नौकरी तो लैजवाब पी रही है झील कोई जल्दी प्यास मिल गया है शहर कुछ पिंडा लेना सुट के भी जा रहा है सारी कमाई कुंजदा कोई आ रहा धोती दे नाल कमजोर पशुआं दे पिंडे तो आरां दा शाम दा रंग फेर पुराना 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 फेर
collect your card.